everyone, I'm Tasha Robinson-White, and I'm representing dinner in Blanc Las Vegas. And I am in the studio with J. Haleem.
This episode is sponsored by Yes Girl Events LV, a wedding planner and event coordinator based here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, for all of my brides out there, we know that you're busy planning your very big day, but you can't do it by yourself. At Yes Girl Events LV, every detail counts. And whether that detail is helping you in the very beginning or working with you all the way until the last dance, Yes Girl Events is the coordinator for you. To learn more, visit yesgirleventsLV.com or on Instagram at yesgirleventsLV.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy, J. Haleem. We are back for another In the Studio session. This is getting nice and breezy around here in Vegas. It's been a hot summer, and I'm glad that it's getting cool a little bit. Y'all know I'm an East Coast guy, so I'm just been killing me. This desert weather's been killing me. But to bring the fall in nice, I had to have this beautiful young lady here in the studio because she represents something that's going on all around the country. But here in Vegas, you know, I get a chance to take full advantage of the one and only dinner en blanc, or in French, dîner en blanc. So, hey.
Absolutely. You did well.
Thank you so much. That's 3 years of French in college. See, y'all ain't know that about me. I did that. But no, the lovely Tasha Robinson-White is in the studio today. Y'all give her a round of applause. How you doing?
That was a great introduction. Merci.
And listen, we gonna talk some French because she doing what she doing. But no, we're gonna talk about dinner en blanc. But we're gonna talk about her being an entrepreneur. We're gonna talk about her doing her thing here in the city of Vegas. Y'all know what we about. We about our entrepreneurs. We about uplifting our people that's here in the desert. I always call it the desert, but I know it's a valley. But I'm still trying to get used to it. I'm still trying to get used to this weather. I'm still trying to get used to 115. But no, how was your year so far? How was your first 3 quarters of the year as a business owner? I know it's what's coming up, but how's the first 3 quarters of the year?
Ooh, it's been a little up and down. You know, it's a different year. Mm-hmm. You know, we have a different administration. Mm-hmm. But for me, you know, it's all about teamwork, mm-hmm. you know, and building with a great community of people around me. So when I may feel low, I have definitely a group of people around me that help me build up my confidence and continue on. So it's cool. I mean, it's existing.
So people that don't know who you are, you know, if there's anybody in the city that don't know who you are, let's say, how did you get your start? You know, I know you're an entrepreneur. You got a couple irons in the fire. How did you get to this point? What was your start? Are you from Vegas?
No. So that's a great question. I'm originally from Lansing, Michigan.
Oh, wow.
Right.
It's a lot of Michigan people out here.
Absolutely. So when you said East Coast, I immediately thought about a coat.
Yeah.
But then after I graduated high school, I moved to Atlanta, Georgia.
Wow.
Where I attended Spelman College for a little while. Down there, I met a lot of great, amazing people, one to include my husband, my life partner. I also...
Did you go to Morehouse?
No, I went to Spelman.
Did he go to Morehouse?
No.
Okay.
Nope, he didn't. Right. No, he was a choreographer and dancer. He worked in the industry for quite some time. He worked with Usher, TLC,
amazing,
Monica, like everybody, right?
Amazing.
So he was a dancer,
okay,
and I was a college girl, and we kind of met out there.
He showed you some moves.
Yeah, he definitely showed me some moves. It didn't really work, though. Like, I'm the one that can't dance in the family. I own it. My children can dance, but Kevin and KJ and Jalen, they dance, okay?
I love it.
But because of the environment that he was in and the people that he knew growing up, like Jermaine Dupri, the group Escape, TLC, at those times, these were just people, right?
Yeah.
Not saying they're not people now, but they were people that were thriving. They were trying. They were just on the up and coming space of being who they are today. And Kevin was a part of that. You know, he was doing dancing. He was choreography. He was, you know, just in the midst of their environment. That was his environment, which became my environment. And being around that, I ended up working with the group Escape, and then being an intern, and then in a play at LaFace Records.
Wow.
So when, you know, you hear about Usher, TLC, Tony Braxton,
let's stop for 1 second. I used to drool over Tony Braxton. Was she really? I never met her, so I saw her from a distance. Was she really who I was dreaming she was?
Yeah. Tony's beautiful. She is absolutely.
Shout out to Tony Braxton.
Absolutely gorgeous.
That's what's up.
Gorgeous.
That's what's up. That was my girl. So when I was in high school, Tony Braxton was in my locker.
Okay.
She was in my locker. So yeah, I will go back to that. But I had to get my love.
She inspired my haircut.
See what I'm saying? See,
matter of fact,
I had to get my fan moment out.
Hairstylist Marie Davis became my hairstylist. Actually, she was my hairstylist before she was Tony's
Wow.
hairstylist. So yeah, shout out to Marie Davis.
Yeah, I had to get my fan moment in right then and there.
Absolutely. So no, Tony Braxton, like all those great, amazing people at LaFace Records that people in the world know.
Yep.
But a lot of great, amazing people that were at LaFace Records were the people behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So people that are now today, Billy Woodruff, he was in video productions there. Now he's a big-time director. Shanti Das, she was in marketing and promotions. Now she leads Silence the Shame, which is a nonprofit that focuses on mental health.
Okay.
You see so many. There's so many of them doing great things. And, you know, for me, being an intern there, I was soaking up all the game. All the game. I was in every room. You know, you hear about Outkast and their Southern Playalistic picnic. I was there. I was a part of it. I was on the, you know, on the side of helping put that
Skip
together.
the Freaknik portion. Don't put that out.
Well, you know, I attended Freaknik. You'll never catch me on camera. I wasn't a freaknik. I was nicking it. I was nicking it.
You on the other side of it. I hear that.
Absolutely. But Atlanta was such a vibe, such a great creative playground for me to really learn a lot about where I am today, you know.
So you in Spelman. So you was in Spelman at the time. Right now, at the time when we're recording this, they also have the Magic City documentary out. Did you have any experiences?
So, you know, when I was at Spelman, Magic City was on the up and coming. So I didn't really experience it until like later in life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I experienced Magic City. And it was definitely, it's a culture thing.
Yeah. I was just saying that because the funny thing is on the show, it was a few young ladies from Spelman. Well, they was going to Spelman. They were working there.
Yep.
And then they were talking about how they were shaming them and, you know, people at the school. And it was a big deal. I mean, it's a good piece. I mean, it's only like 4 episodes in, but it's a good piece so far. So, yeah, I just wanted to hear about if you heard of any of your girls or stuff like that.
When I was there, I don't think actually, and I'm probably sharing my age a little bit, but Magic City, I think it wasn't even really established at that time.
Okay.
So when I left Atlanta, that's when I really was hearing more and more about Magic City.
Okay.
So every time I would go, then I was like, oh, okay. And then of course I knew people that worked there. I knew people that my clients would want to go there and party and have a good time. So I definitely attended.
Yeah, I went to college in the South as well. So you go to Atlanta. You gotta go. I didn't go to Atlanta. I went to South Carolina. I went to Benedict College. But we would go to Atlanta, and we got to go and get that Atlanta culture because that's exactly what it is.
It is a culture.
Yeah, it's definitely what
culture.
it is. So
I mean,
that's
you
part
can
of
go
it.
there, and that was my first. Really, Magic City was my first experience being in a strip club.
Yeah.
So ever, and you could order the best fire wings.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Are you serious? Are we really ordering food in the strip club?"
Yes.
Baby. We ordered food. We tore them wings up.
Well, y'all heard about the guy Lou Williams, the basketball player. He got suspended for going in COVID to go get some wings. They call him Lemon Pepper Lou. So that lets you know how good Magic City Wings is. If
they were fire.
If he want to go out there and almost lose his job or life with COVID just to go get some wings, obviously somebody need that recipe.
Absolutely.
But no, yeah, you did that, LaFace Records, all of that other stuff. How did you get over here to Vegas?
Great question. So my parents left Michigan in '94 and they came to Vegas. So that 12-hour drive from Atlanta to Michigan just kind of was like, now they're on the West Coast. That's a whole airplane. So let me go check them out. So I came out here just to visit in 95. I kind of got mad at my boyfriend, now husband. So, I've won the battle. I came out here. I'm going to be with my parents. So I came out here and I was here March of 95. I was here for about 2 months. And then my husband, at the time, boyfriend, came out and he's like, you need to come back to Atlanta. And I was like, no, if you love me, we'll stay.
Uh-oh.
And 30 years later, we're still in Las Vegas.
Wow.
So that's how we kind of got here. When I got here, though, it was not the Vegas that we see today.
Not even a little bit.
We didn't have any hip-hop on the Strip. I always say, and I know, I was the first person to bring Usher to Las Vegas Strip.
Wow.
So there was a club called Utopia back in the late 90s where I went and rented that club out. My husband and I started a company out here, and we were like, we're going to do all the, after parties for all the celebrities. We had our contacts and connections from being in Atlanta. So I remember the Billboard Music Awards coming to Vegas.
Wow.
And Usher was going to be there. So I called up my LaFace family and Janetta, his mom, and I was like, hey, I want Usher to come to my party. Didn't have to pay him. Usher came to the party. He had a great time. Matter of fact, he met a guy named Flo, who was actually his breakdancing instructor. So not only that he came to the party for free, he actually met someone that has been with his career this entire time. Is
he gonna be mad at you because you said for free? Because he's charging about $3,000-$4,000 for you to see him nowadays.
You know what?
In Vegas.
Can I just say this? This was back in the day where we were all grinding. We were all coming up. Yeah. And, it was more about art. It wasn't about money. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And when I say for free, there were gems exchanged in the sense of, like, I talk about that all the time. That's a big pivot moment for me because here in Vegas, nobody knew us as promoters. They just like, who are these people who said they can bring celebrities to this venue, or whatever. And we did it, and we did it well. And that's kind of how we kind of got a jump start in this community as to what we were doing as far as promotions. That particular night, though, I had no idea that I was going to meet somebody that I would work with for 12 years, and that was Floyd Mayweather Jr. Uh-oh. So I worked with the champ I met him that night. He came to the event. He was underage when he came, but he came into the event, and the club owner actually knew him and allowed him to come into the club. And then, I was kind of looking at him like, don't start nothing. And he's looking at me like, girl, I'm grown. You know what I'm saying? I'm Floyd Mayweather. So it was kind of interesting how that happened. And, that was our first introduction. And then later we ended up connecting, and I ended up working with him for almost 12 years.
Do you feel like it's still somewhat of the same when it comes to new people? Because definitely we have a huge influx of people coming into Vegas, especially over the last 5 years. Do you feel like it's still the same when it comes to quote unquote outsiders? Like, oh, who is he? Who is she?
The same.
You said how they treated you all those years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Are people being still treated that way?
A little bit. Okay. I think now what people are doing, we're open to bringing more people to the city. I think we've opened ours. It was cliquish at first. You know what I'm saying? I think I kind of segue my way in because of my relationship at LaFace Records. I was able to connect with the DJs. Mike P, Smooth C, who is now the general manager. Everyone knows him as Craig Knight, but I knew him as Smooth C. He was a DJ. A lot of people that you see now in some prominent places, they were just like me. We were all on the streets, not on the streets like that, but
no, I understand
we were
what you're
all
saying.
Grinding, trying to, make pivotal moves here in Vegas, because Vegas being known as the entertainment capital of the world. Well, me coming from Atlanta, and I'm sure others coming from other cities, when we got here, we were a little disappointed. Like, this ain't the entertainment capital of the world. Like, not how we see it.
Yeah. Definitely.
So we had to kind of, create our own community, right? And started, playing off each other. And then as time went on, we just kind of built. Yeah. And now we definitely open. I mean, I do all the time. When people come to Vegas, I'm like, hey, what do you do? Sure. How can I connect you? Because I want to be treated like that. And that's, where I want to, help other people.
Yeah. I totally get that. I mean, again, I'm only been here a few years, and I've gotten a little bit of both. You know, I believe that I was in position to do more, but I don't know what it would have been like if I was coming from like the bottom and trying to do something. I think it would have been a little bit harder. Yeah. But I came with something in hand, able to, you know, offer something to people.
Absolutely.
And I tell people that all the time. I'm saying, when you come into a new place, come with your hand out, but make sure something's in it. You know, it's extended with something in it, as opposed to just having your hand out trying to get. Because what I heard a lot from Vegas natives is people come take, and then get out of here.
You can't do that. See, where I come from, and I'm sure you kind of come from the same class, you know, when you go to different cities, you don't just go in there to take, right? Yeah. You have to research when you're going to the city. When I, as an event producer, if I go to any other city to do an event, first thing I want to do is know who the top promoters are, who the top event people are, or who's making noise out here. I want to make contact with them. I want to connect with them, because it's not like I want to come in and take over. I want to come in and collaborate. Yeah. I think that's the best way to come into any city, you know, is go and find out who your players are, you know, bring your A game. Definitely. But also, you know, find out who your players are and see if you all can connect. One thing that is probably not out there like that, but I'm a behavioral practitioner. So I pay attention to people, you know, I pay attention to characteristics. I pay attention to, you know, I'm not in that, you know, treat people like you want to be treated. I treat people like they want to be treated. So I want to meet you where you are, right? I know how I want to be treated, and I'm going to come with that expectation of how I want to be treated. However, you know what I'm saying, if you don't treat me that way, then I'm going to know how I need to move on the chessboard with you. Yeah. You know, but, you know, first meeting, I'm in love. Hey, let's have a great time. But rub me the wrong way, then I'll know, like, you know what? So it took me a minute. Yeah. It took me a minute to really find comfort in Las Vegas like that.
Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that. How has your business changed, or your profession changed, with all the influx of people from all over the country?
So, you know, I stay within my circle, right? You know, I don't really try to, I guess, compete with a lot of things that are going on. I know what I can do and what I do well. So I invite it, I connect. A lot of times I'm not here in Las Vegas doing a lot of events. Okay. What I do is mostly on the conference side, corporate side. I am going to be doing a conference November 16th here, working with a client here in Las Vegas, and it's going to be an amazing event at the Cox Pavilion. However, if you seek me out, or, you know, if we connect in a room, then that's how it happens. It's just kind of hard just, you know, putting up the billboards, and it's exhausting being at every networking function you can possibly be in. And every,
talk about it.
I mean, it is exhausting.
Talk about it.
So at this point in life, I'm kind of like, you know, I got to protect my peace and my energy and my creativity. Yeah. Because, you know, you let one thing out the bag. I mean, Dinner and Blanc is one thing, but you know, somebody will be doing it again. Somebody will be trying to do exactly what I'm doing, but they're just not going to do it the same way.
Yeah. How do you feel about that? I mean, because at this point with social media and everything like that, I think that, you know, that integrity, that creative integrity is gone now.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I kind of agree with you. That's why, I like to build my team. So thinking about Dinner and Blanc, and when I do it, my team is consisting of a lot of other event creatives. Mm-hmm. So it's not just me, right? So, Dinner and Blanc is a franchise, and it's all over. Don't cut the interview. I'm going to that. I'm going right now. We talking about you. Okay. Well, I'm gonna get to that. Okay. Because the people of Las Vegas need to know who you are, and more importantly, the gym you are and the gyms that you have to offer. I appreciate.
And this platform is definitely for that. We're gonna definitely talk about that, but I definitely want everybody to know, hey, this is a resource.
Gotcha.
I want, when people look at in the studio, I want them to say, hey, I heard about her. I got to know her and what she do and how she can help because I listened to here.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Absolutely. So at the end of the day, we're going to talk about Vanguardian.
Oh, yeah, that's first.
See?
First. Yes.
See, we're going to talk about that. And I researched. So,
okay. Well, come with
so we do this.
Okay.
So let's talk about, I love the name.
Okay.
And you got to understand, people don't understand what Vanguard means, And so when I'm reading about your company and things like that, and I keep hearing and seeing, and I'm like, okay. So talk about that. What made you come up with that name and the business? Talk about the business.
Okay, so Vanguard Global, as you know, the root word is Vanguard,
Mm-hmm.
and actually is a military term
Mm-hmm.
that means in the forefront of movement and action.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So that's where I came with the Vanguardian. I am in the forefront of movement and action. So as I spoke on earlier, being the first to bring Usher to the Strip,
Mm-hmm.
you know, being innovative, being creative, being the risk taker.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Being the one to just open the door,
Yeah.
you know, switch the lane, create the lane.
Yeah.
And that's, to me, that's always been who I was
Yeah.
and am, you know, as a person. You know, everyone's going right, I might go left, you know. Y'all might go high, I might go low, I might go high.
Come on, Michelle Obama.
You know what I'm saying? I made, you know, I'm big at taking risks.
Yeah.
You know, I know a lot of my friends would say that about me. They're like, Tasha, you're so innovative, or, you know, I would have never thought of that, right? I wouldn't have, you know, because of my experience in the rooms that I've been in. I've learned so much.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been a big sponge in taking in so much. So from an emotional perspective, I feel it on all four sides, not just one side, because this is the side I'm residing in right now. I am more compassionate because I can listen.
Okay.
You know, you have 2 ears to listen, one mouth to talk. You know what I'm saying? Double listen.
Yeah.
Double take it in.
Yeah.
You know, and that to me is one of my superpowers.
Okay. So who would be your target, you know, audience or your target client, your ideal client?
I don't really have an ideal client. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm so creative. Whatever you come to the table with, I'm going to maximize that. I'm going to make it even more grander than what you see.
That's scary to me because, you know, I think that someone with your skill set and your pedigree, when random people just walk up and want to work with you, I think it's valuable to be able to tell people, no, I'm not your person. You might need to go see this person. How you feel about that?
So, like I said, I have a team.
Okay.
Right? So it's not just me. You know, I can, you and I can sit down and have what I call a diag, okay? Kind of like, you know, your coach, right? So you understand, we kind of sit down and take notes as to what you want and what you don't want, or what you see and what you don't see, or what you would like to be. And then I'll review all of that. And I'll come back to it and either meet you where you are or expand your thought in it. And then I'll put you in the position to, if you want to go that way, I'll put you in that position to win. And it may be me on one level, it may be a partner of mine, it may be someone else in my alliance or in my, you know, in my database to connect you with. But, you know, I feel like everybody has something.
Yeah.
And because I am connected to so many resources, you know, I don't like to sleep on money. You know, I don't like to sleep on opportunity. You know, I have seen some people that I've met 30, 40 years ago just in passing. And now today I'm looking at them in their life and I'm like, wow, we had that conversation and they really did what they said they were going to do. Or, you know, they may have resurfaced again in my life. I'm like, remember when you told me this? Or remember, you know, free advice or, you know, conversations or whatever. You know, people used to hone that in, you know, like, you know, don't give away all the goods. don't do this, don't do that, you know. And I started to, at one point in life, I was like, it's not even mine to give.
And
you know what I'm
if
saying?
you coaching, look, you got to always be coaching. Like, you got to always be coaching. It's never going to be a situation where if you're a real coach, you're literally coaching all the time. Even if from producing events, you're producing for mom, for cousins, for everything. They're going to keep calling you. You're the expert, you know, in this space. That's why I started giving away stuff for free, not just the information. I like my book. If you want a PDF, you can go on my website right now. Shameless plug. Just put your email in there. You'll get the book. You know, you'll get one of the books anyway. And hey, if you're going to do all the stuff to read, I found that 85% of the people they just want you to do it for them.
Right.
And I tell them, do you want coaching or you want consulting?
There's a big difference.
And they don't know that it's a difference.
There's a very big difference in coaching and consulting.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so also when it comes to a point where my finance, I need to make a certain amount of money, I'll tell them, hey, just take this book. You know, the book, this training manual costs $40. You can have that because you don't want to spend $4,000 right now.
Right.
Now, later when you want to double back and spend $4,000, we can have a conversation.
Absolutely.
But, hey, if you want to do everything that's in the book, please, by all means, take $40. Somebody might get blessed with it. But we can't waste that type of time, and seeing the type of work that you do in a client base that some of the people you work with, I'm sure it's not those type of conversations, because when you're doing a major conference, you said at a Cox Center, that's not playing games. You got something at the Cox Center. You know, so are those the people you're working with mostly, the people that's doing it at that caliber, or you're just trying to find whomever going to, you know, that you can bless?
Absolutely. You have to be serious. And when I say that, you have to have skin in the game. You have to be willing to take the risk, be willing to take the step, be willing to spend the money. You know what I'm saying? And listen. You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest thing. If you're not going to listen, you know, time is the one thing
It's rough.
that you don't get back. You
It's
make
rough.
money back. You can go broke and make your money back all day long. But time is something you cannot get back. So trust and believe, if I'm giving you some time, you know what I'm saying, I see the value in it.
Yes.
You know, and it's not always financial.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not always financial, but there's value. We have to know what that is, and we have to identify that.
Yeah, it's crazy. You said something like the time, because people will waste your time. And training individuals, you know, if you look at a lot of these business training scenarios, they always talk about people selling a product. But it's hard when you sell a service, because a lot of, especially new individuals, don't know how to quantify their service. They don't know how to put, oh, well, why would I charge more money? They don't know how to, like, again, if it costs you $5 to make a T-shirt, you know you can't sell it for $4.
Right.
You know that. Or you can't sell it for $7. It might, you know, it's not enough of a profit margin. But when you do something that you do every day, it's easy for you to say, oh, just give me $200.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
And then you can't fathom that you can ask somebody for $20,000 in that space.
Until you do.
Until you do,
Until
right?
you do.
And then it's like,
Until
and they
you
say
do.
yes, and then you start realizing, or you start networking with other individuals that's charging that amount. You're like, why? Are you trying, girl, do you know that I had to do this and I had to do this?
Yes.
And do you know how many hours I actually worked? And you start learning how to actually look at, oh, I've been working with you for 25 hours.
Yeah.
That's why I charge that. And I'm worth $1,000 an hour.
Right.
And I've done all this stuff. I done delivered your baby and did some stuff. And then you know, helped you get a whole bunch of stuff. You wouldn't have had to do this.
Right. And I have to say this, and because I did mention you're a coach, I know this. It's important to have a coach.
Oh, God.
You know what I'm saying? I remember, you know, being young in the industry, not knowing certain things, you know, having a mentor to tell me certain things. It was just like, once I got with a business coach, because see, some things I might say yes to everything, but my business coach is going to pull did it make comprehensive sense?
Yeah.
How did that, because when you talk to your business coach, it's like talking to your accountant. You know what I'm saying? Does this make sense? Is this how is this going to fatten your pocket?
Yeah.
You know, how is this going to, you know, play into your bottom line?
Yeah.
And if you don't have people around you, you know, and that's very, very important.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like, you know, it's essential. That's all.
It's just crazy that we feel like in this DIY world that we can do entrepreneurship DIY. So how do you feel about this whole DIY situation from an entrepreneurial perspective, but also with, you know, being coach, manager, you know, producer? Because when you any of these things, you're working with other talent.
Right.
And then you become expendable when they feel like they don't need you.
Right.
So how do you feel about that?
You know, you make more mistakes, you lose more money, you lose more time. You know what I'm saying? Like, who wants to continue to bump your head all the time to make all the profit?
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, depending on where you use it, right?
Yeah.
If it's just something fun and a hobby type thing, okay, DIY it on up.
Yeah.
But if it's something where you're trying to really make money and and make motion and be in motion, and you definitely need to
invest.
Yes.
They're scared of that word. Everybody love to talk about investing, but they're not really investing. And the number one investment, this is how I know if you were an investor, that you invest in yourself.
Yeah.
You know, no matter how you live, I mean, from your clothes, how you look, you know, it don't have to be Louis, Gucci, Prada, but are you going to show up looking like you somebody, you know?
Absolutely.
And then are you going to invest in yourself? Like, are you willing to, I don't see you at the conferences. I don't see you going to this place to get more education. I don't see the letters behind your name that show, it's not a thing of, oh, I got so many pieces of education, but no, that certification you had to pay for. You know, and you took the time.
You asked me a question. You said, you know, tell me about Vanguard Global. Mm-hmm. And so I told you how I came up with the name. But I'm going to tell you why. Well, Vanguard Global, we specialize in corporate events, not just any events, you know, corporate events, events that pour into people. You know what I'm saying? I could do parties all day. I've done millions of parties. That's where I got my backbone and background from doing events, was doing parties. But after the party, I made a lot of money and people left. They had a great time, but that was it until the next party. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? With Vanguard Global and us producing corporate events, you know, where people are learning something, they're getting things to take away. Yeah. Things like I've met so many people in the event space where Tasha gave me my first opportunity. Tasha gave me my first speaking gig. Tasha gave me my first opportunity to meet this person. She put me in a room with the right persons. I got certified to become a coach because she placed me in this space. So it's bigger than the overall logistics of the event, getting the
being in the forefront.
Yes, being in the forefront and knowing the people that you want to put in that room. Yeah, you know, because that makes me feel really, really good when I can say, I know I planted certain seeds. You'll thank me later. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like getting you in this room or introducing you to this person or give you an opportunity to be on the stage. Yeah. You know, someone had to do that to me. All you have to do is pay $200. All you have to do is pay this amount of money to come to this event, and you're gonna walk away with way more than you would have at a $50 party.
Wow. So give me a testimony, somebody who you gave an opportunity and it changed their life, one that sticks out to you.
Okay, can I just say, I have to say one that sticks out for me. One that gave me an opportunity.
Okay, great.
First, so I was doing this conference, this corporate conference for this company, and there was this lady, Linda Clemens. Let's just say who she is. She's a body language expert, phenomenal speaker from Indiana. So I remember going to a conference and I seen her speak, and I was like, I want her. I got to get her to speak at this particular conference. So I was able to find her and book her for this particular conference. The people that were providing the financial backing for this gave me a budget, and it was below a budget number for her. Yeah. But of course, I convinced her a little bit to come and do this for me. And I don't know if we connected on a level or whatever, but she ended up coming to do this conference. And I was a little upset with the people who gave me the money to give to her because I was like, I know she's about to set this stage on fire. Yeah. But you wanted to pay this person more than you wanted to pay this person. But that's a whole nother story. But anyway, Miss Linda Clemens came into that spot. When I talk about tearing the house down, she tore the house down. So not only that, she made me look good, right? But afterwards, she had a conversation with me. And she told me, she said, you are bigger than this. You need to be on stage.
Those conversations are
everything. You need to be doing this. You need to be doing that. And I mean, it was a sister kind of conversation. And I was like, maybe I should be doing these things. You know, maybe I am, serving myself less than what I need to be. Yeah. So that was right before the pandemic. We ended up having another conversation. And she said, Tasha, I want you to come to Indiana and I want you to speak. I said, me? I thought she was calling me to help her do the conference. She's like, no, you have a story. I need you to get on this stage and speak. And I was so nervous. I was like tripping. Yeah. You know, I got on that stage and I spoke. I got about 10 clients from me just telling my story, my nervous story. Yeah. To doing events and to doing other things. So, that was how she planted the seed with me. So of course I had to pay it forward, right?
Yeah.
So out of one of those clients that I gained from her event, I ended up producing an event for her, this other client in New York. And the New York lady, she said, hey, when you do this, you know, we're going to be honoring women. I want you to, if you want to honor some women, you know what I'm saying, you should do it.
Yeah.
I took about 5 women from Las Vegas that are killing the game in Las Vegas right now. Marquetta DeVelle is one.
Okay.
Tiffany Ward is another. And the list goes on. However, I was able to take them to New York and get them honored for doing what they do in their community.
Love it.
And then when they came back, it was like, I don't know what happened to them, but they just blew up. They just started writing
They were
books.
pumped up now. They
were writing books. They were, you know, the person I'm doing this conference for at Cox is Marquetta.
Okay.
So that was, to me, you know, from here to there, we just kind of been hitting the tennis ball across the net to each other. And to me, that is a beauty. And I'm watching her roar in so many spaces right now. I'm excited for her.
Love it. Shout out to her. Shout out to Marquetta.
Marquetta.
Yeah, listen, you know, living this type of life, and when you're doing it the right way, you have these type of stories, you have these type of testimonies. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about you, because we don't just get here overnight. You know, you didn't get to Dîner en Blanc. I don't even think that you being considered or considering going that way, if you didn't go through the things you've done, you wouldn't have thought about this. I remember when it burst on the scene some years ago, and it's all over the place because I was in South Carolina when I first heard about it and seeing it, but it's everywhere. You know, we got there, and we was in Charlotte, stuff like that. So I'm like, wow. And then when I saw that it was Vegas, I'm like, oh, wait, I got to go, you know. And I saw this lovely young lady here. So we got to talk to her. Aww. We got to talk to her because I didn't talk to the people on the other side of the country about it. So how did you come to this realization that you wanted to be a part of this franchise?
Oh, I thought it was a joke. I'm gonna be real with you. I thought it was a whole joke. So I was invited by one of my girlfriends to go to the one in Paris. I don't remember why I didn't go at that particular time, but it didn't happen. And then all of a sudden, after she spoke it to me, I started getting these invitations to come to the one in Las Vegas. And I was like, oh, this sounds like it'd be really cool, you know, if I'm ever in town to do it. So I never went. And then during the pandemic, someone sent me an email saying, hey, we're looking for Las Vegas hosts to host Dîner en Blanc. And you have a background in events.
Yeah.
And we would like to sit down and talk to you. And I was telling my husband, and my husband was like, yeah, right. Like, that's crazy during the pandemic. And I was like, yeah, right, I know. And then we kind of just like pushed it aside for a minute. And then he woke up one day and he was like, you know, outside will open up again. And he was like, and you are Vanguard Global, you know, the forefront of movement in action.
Yes.
And I could really see you, you know what I'm saying, doing something with this. And I don't know if it just came to him, but he brought it to me. And I was like, you're right. So we ended up going to the one in D.C. And I was 8,000 people. I was amazed. I was like, wow, this is amazing. And I said, but you know me, I got to put my little twist on it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So when I came back to Vegas, I went on and said, yes, I'm going to go ahead and move forward with this project. And I did my first one in 2022. And I did things a little different than what they do in other cities. Because Vegas is known as the capital of entertainment, but also Vegas is big on hospitality. Yeah. You know, in other cities, you see people having to bring their own stuff. Where I know we are big on hospitality, so I provide that as a service. So you can still bring your own. However, you can also rent it.
Oh, yeah, I pay for everything.
Yeah. Well, see, you spent a number. But how I got involved was just that. You know what I'm saying? Someone came after me and mentioned it to me. I bought into it. But I did it with a twist. Being an event producer, and like I said, I produce events all over. So I figured this was going to be a way for me to actually bring my network together. Yeah. Because when I'm out in other cities and other countries, people always say, well, oh, you live in Las Vegas. Oh, we're coming to Vegas. We're coming to Vegas. And I'm like, you know what? That's my network.
This is before Trump, obviously.
That's my network. And I was like, I'm doing an event in Vegas. Come to Vegas. So now people, like the last couple of years, I would say 30 to 40% of my guests were from out of state.
Love it.
They wanted to come, not just because it's Dinner and Blanc, but they wanted to come because it's
Vegas.
Vanguard Global and it's Vegas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we do things a little bit different here.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying every bit of it.
So you talk about a team, and we've got a chance to deal with some of your team getting you over here. How important is that team, get to make this happen every year the way you've been pulling it off?
That's everything. Mm-hmm. That's everything. Being the host and being an event producer, I know what I like. Mm-hmm. I know what I want to see. And I've also seen other Dinner and Blancs, right?
Yeah.
So I know what kind of experience I'm trying to deliver. But I can't do that if I'm worrying about every single element, from the leaders to getting you to departure locations to making sure everyone is dressed appropriately and know everything that's available to them. So I have to get leaders to help me do that. Not just people, actual leaders. People that know how to lead in this space, right? People that understand, and also people that have skin in the event space. Yeah. And just, building a team around you that you can trust. Yeah. And also knowing your team. You know what I'm saying? Knowing what they want. Because just as successful as I want this event to be and I want to be, I want to make sure my team members feel that same. Yeah. In whatever lane they're in. So from my PR to leaders at the event, to my AV person, to my head leader, to my photographers, my videographers, everybody that's involved with the event, I need them to feel just as important at this event.
So what would you say is a big misconception about Dinner and Blanc?
That's for white people.
Wow.
Yeah, that is just for white people. So
is that the Blanc portion of it, or just because it's Hasidity?
Well,
I'm being funny.
I will be 100. Hey, I'm in the studio with you, so I'll tell you exactly how it is. So in 2022, when I took over Dinner and Blanc, this will be the 7th Dinner and Blanc in Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. So this will be my 4th as the event host. Mm. Prior to me doing it, we didn't really see it. It happened. It just wasn't a lot of us there. So when I actually got involved, it started to even out. Okay. And I think a lot of people told me, they were like, I've been on the list for years and I never got an invitation. Mm-hmm. And so I thought that was really strange. Because when you go to Philadelphia, Atlanta, even DC, and DC's host is a white lady, but it's all of us. And so I feel like, it's for all of us.
Well, I would say from my experience that it wasn't treated like that. Like it was always where I came from, it was treated like as if you had to be somebody to be there. And it was so funny because you had people who really wasn't nobody, but they might have known someone or worked for a certain organization, and it was in there. So, but it was just so phony, and being perfectly honest and transparent. But I love to see how it was. It wasn't hard to find, the website. It wasn't hard to go ahead and just pay to be a part of everything like that. They were really trying to keep it secret and, see the same people every year at the same thing. And, so to me, that was corny, because especially if it was really like that, a lot of people that were there wouldn't be there. You just happened to be on certain people's good side at a certain time, so you got invited, and you couldn't really afford a ticket, but somebody else sponsored a ticket for you. Those types of things. But this was a lot better to me so far.
It's to me, this is the room that culture meets, community meets, creativity meets. You know what I'm saying?
Love
Chic
it.
meets.
Love it.
So it could be, you don't know who's going to be in the room.
Yeah.
Just make sure you're in the room.
Love it. Love it. And that's great too. I love that you said that, because a lot of people be worried too much about who's going to be in the room. And so you're showing up for other people and not showing up as you. Mm-hmm. And so you don't really get what you need to get out of it. Right. Because when people see you and you can actually add value, that's when you're going to get the most out of it.
Absolutely.
But when you're trying to show up and dress to impress this person, trying to be in the room because these people are going to be in the room, you really don't get nothing but saying you were there.
Right.
You know, you get no real takeaways but saying that you were there. Right. So, like I said, so far I haven't been yet. This will be my first one going here, but the experience has been a lot better because, again, if I'm going to go and do all this nonsense, I don't want to see 25% of the people I saw that know they shouldn't be here where I'm at if it was all this. Like, what they there for, in my opinion.
Well, the thing is everyone pays the same amount of money.
Exactly.
You know, there's no VIF or VIP.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Everyone has to wear white, whether you're wearing white shorts or white dress or, you know.
Love it.
I don't discriminate. Now, you do have to be invited to the event, right? Mm-hmm. So, and I can break that down a little bit. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Phase 1 is usually the team. Mm-hmm. You know, that's all the team, and the people that have actually attended the year before automatically get a phase 1 invitation. Mm-hmm. Phase 2 is all of those people from phase 1 get to invite people. Mm-hmm. So they invite their network. And then phase 3 is what we call the wait list, where if you never got an invitation before, you're interested, you find the website, you put your name in, and then after phase 1 and phase 2 have their allotted time to actually register, open phase 3. And when phase 3 opens, it's, hey, first come, first serve. Mm-hmm. But you did have to get an invitation to come. But the thing is, you know, you don't know what walk of life is going to be in that room. Mm-hmm. To me, Dinner and Blanc, how I use it and how I feel like when we came right after the pandemic was reintroduce yourself to the community.
Yeah.
Because before the pandemic, it hit us hard. Before the pandemic, we might have had different jobs. We might have been in different social settings. Some people were married. Now they're not married. Some people got new wives. Some people got new kids.
Some people ain't here no more.
Some people aren't here anymore.
Yeah.
So this is a way for you to come out, show out, introduce yourself, reintroduce yourself. Yeah. And you never know, the person that you needed to talk to or your next opportunity might be in that Dinner and Blanc space. Yeah. You can just walk over to them and say, hi, my name is, you know, and how are you? And let's connect.
I love it.
So many opportunities happened at Dinner and Blanc.
I love it. I love it. Let everybody know when it's going to be and whatever you can tell them about it. So, you know.
Okay. So it will be Saturday, October 18th. Mm-hmm. I can't tell you where it's going to be. It will take place between 5 and 10. Mm-hmm. You will need to register and pick your departure location. Mm-hmm. So, and that just means you will get on a bus or you will go to a location where you will be guided to the venue. Yeah. And then you'll be surprised. There's going to be so many great things. Activations. We have entertainment this year. A lot of pop-up, a lot of surprises. You never know who's going to be in the room. I mean, a couple years ago, we had Shantae Moore there.
Oh, that would have been nice to see her.
Stephen Hill's there. Yeah. Linda Clemens was there. Yeah. I mean, several speakers. And just different walks of life will be in the room. And again, we don't tell that to people before, like who's going to be there, because I don't want you to come for that. I want you to come so you can get the experience.
Love it.
You know, dress up, have fun.
Yep.
Dress up in your fly white, you know, and just come to have a great time for a good 5 hours.
I love it. I love it. So I want everybody, because you got something in you that I think the people need to hear. So I need some good words for people to finish out this. We got to go into, when you hear this, when you see this video, it'll be the fourth quarter. Going into the fourth quarter, finishing out 2025. Give them some encouraging words.
One thing I always say, and I've been saying this for many, many years, the journey is just as important as the destination. Mm-hmm. So if you're not taking in the journey and what's going on, because you might not never make that destination. So if you're not embracing what's going on around you and taking a beat every now and then, you know what I'm saying, to really smell your flowers, you know, don't expect people to give you flowers.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Wow. Give yourself flowers. You know what I'm saying? Don't expect you from other people. You know, be that person that you want to be. Be that person that celebrate yourself. Know how to celebrate yourself, because it's time out for a lot of stuff. You know?
That's so powerful, man. You just said something, I mean, and I'm not just saying it because we're interviewing. I've never heard that before, but especially the way you put it. Enjoy the journey because you might not make the destination. Yeah. That is crazy, but it's true. is true. And I think if people heard it that way, I know I'm just hearing it that way. If you think about it like that, you should enjoy the journey way more. Because yes, you got to know where you're going. You know, you got to pick a destination. You got to know where you are. You got to know where you're trying to go so that you can be walking the right path. But things happen on that path. So you need to be having fun as much as you possibly can and enjoying every part of it. And so that right there, that's enough.
Yeah.
And that's more than for the end of 2025. That's for the rest of your life. For the next 50 years, if you're going to be here. Right. Literally pay attention to that, because for me, you just did something for me. And literally, my hairs are standing up. Because that's a thing, man. Like, I've never taken it like that. I understand it from a mortality perspective, but that's just literally profound. Look, y'all, I stay upgrading, man. I stay upgrading. I stay getting upgraded. I stay making sure the show is upgraded, and you have done nothing less than that. So please let everybody know how they can find you, Vanguard Global. Let them know how to find all your stuff on social media and everything like that, so they can subscribe to your YouTube page if you got one of those, all that good stuff.
So vanguardianglobal.com, that's our website. You can find me directly at Tasha Talks on Instagram, and Vanguardian Global on Instagram, and Las Vegas Dinner and Blanc on Instagram. Mm-hmm. And I'm on Instagram all the time. Of course, you can find me, Tasha Robinson-White, on LinkedIn as well, and Facebook, but I'm mostly on Instagram mostly.
And I believe she's Googleable too, because all the stuff that she's done at this point.
I am Googleable.
Listen, y'all, I've had such an amazing time with this young lady, and I'm not just saying that. I really have. I've learned a lot about you. That's what I wanted. You know, I wanted to know who you were. You know, the events come and go. You know what I mean? I believe relationships don't have to. Mm-hmm. You know, so that's why I wanted to definitely get to know you, and I want my people to get to know you.
I appreciate it.
And no problem. Listen, y'all already know how to find me. Go to my website, www.jhaleem.com. Go on all the social media platforms. I am J Haleem on every social media platform. And please go to the YouTube page right now and subscribe in the studio at J Haleem. Click the notification bell so that you know this lovely young lady's coming up. And you'll go ahead and see her and everybody else that's been on in the studio. And subscribe, like every video. Do the I want you to binge. Binge on all the videos like you do on Netflix. Binge. But no, again, y'all know we're here in the studio every week, Wednesdays. Get looking out for the next video. I'll talk to y'all soon and see you next time in the studio. Peace.